Quick Hits with Todd Frazier, Taijuan Walker, and Brett Gardner. Diamond Diehards is on. Joe Rizzo here bringing you baseball along with the Dawg, Jeff Healy. We're doing something called Quick Hits. We're here getting you primed for the weekend, February 19th, a Friday. Just about dinner time, but it's always time for eating up a little bit of baseball as spring training is now open. People are signing big contracts and people are signing small contracts, and we're going to do a quick little breakdown and catch up and weekend primer for you here. FMSgraphics.com. That's the place for all your printing and promotional needs. Go check them out. Very easy, very easy, very easy. If you're Fernando Tatis or Trevor Bauer, you've probably gone on there and printed up some change of address cards or made pens with your picture on it and got them sent out to all your buddies and family everywhere. So check them out, fmsgraphics.com, printing and promotional needs, a big supporter of Diamond Diehards. So Dawg, our goal, what do we say? 5, 10, 15 minutes. So we'll try to keep it under an hour.
We're testing out the format. As always, you know I like the short quick hit. So we'll see. So who are we talking first?
Okay, I say we go Frazier first.
Okay.
And the reason why is because he's I don't know. He's to me he's sort of the most interesting topic here. He's 35. He signs a minor league deal with the Pirates, and you're like, Todd Frazier, 35. You know, Dawg and I are talking. Is he just hanging around? And I'm like, well, I don't know. If he makes the team, he's getting $1.5 million. He already got $1.5 million for this season based on his buyout from the Mets. So he ends up clocking in at $3 million if he makes the team. And yeah, like how many other jobs for a ball player are going to just pay you that much? Right. So why not? Until they rip the uniform off you, I'm all for just keep going. Keep going.
Keep it in the game. I mean, every player you talk to, right, who's been competitive, right? They always feel like they want to do a little bit more, right? They always miss so much, right? So I guess that's a tough one. I mean, I do think, I mean, again, just looking at like, you know, they're the Pirates. It's like, really? I mean, is it? I don't know. Is it really a point at that time? He's coming up on close to 50 million for career earnings. I just sort of thought, you know, you've made everything you can, you know, kind of go out and enjoy it at this point, but you make a good point, right? I mean, he's making good scratch. He's going out doing what he loves. Obviously, he can walk whenever time he wants to. And how mad is it, by the way, that they're paying half his salary again for the Pirates? Like, how is that even possible? He's still getting paid by the Mets $1 million. I didn't remember him coming back the second time, frankly.
But it's a good deal for the Pirates too, because they have Charlie Hayes' son over there at third base. He can mentor him. They traded their first baseman to the Nationals, so they can, you know, maybe use him at third, first, wherever, pinch hitter. If they go into American League parks, they could DH. If they get a DH in the last moments here, which apparently is still a possibility. I don't know if the National League does get the DH for this year. Maybe he gives you a bat there. But then, Dawg, you know, the Pirates are the team projected by Vegas to have the fewest amount of wins in the majors. It's like them and the Orioles, I believe. So if you catch lightning in a bottle with Todd Frazier and you have a contending team that has a weakness, say, against lefties or at, you know, one of the corners or something like that, he's definitely a guy that a contending team would easily make a trade for. So it's kind of like investing that $1.5 million into getting maybe a prospect or two somewhere in the summer, or let's just say the Pirates work some kind of miracle. You know, he's going to help you contend. I mean, we don't really think that's going to happen, but you know, I don't know if stranger things have happened in the English Premier League, but maybe not in baseball.
Yeah, I was calling him before, right? The Crash Davis of the Pirates. I mean, young team, so to get someone to learn from is obviously great in the clubhouse. You know, he has been able to go to multiple teams. You know, never had an issue. Always been positive influence around there. So that's all positives, right? I mean, there's not a ton of downside from the Pirates' perspective. No, he should. I guess the only question is, once he finally go to the Padres,
Yeah. Wow.
like everybody else this offseason, right?
That would be a catastrophe for the Padres, because that means either something happened to Manny Machado or Eric Hosmer, pretty much, and I think they're hoping for that not to happen.
That is true.
That's
That is true.
definitely not in the plan, and they have a few guys over there too who could probably just jump in.
There we go.
We got a couple of good things. Xavier Rizzo producing, Dominic Rizzo helping out with DiamondDiehards.com. So you could check us out there. Again, still not pretty, but effective if you just want to listen to the shows and the shorts. It's going to keep building. So get in the habit of checking us out at DiamondDiehards.com. Facebook group, Facebook page, Twitter. We really need more Twitter followers. We're doing like a pretty
We're doing a lot of
job.
stuff on Twitter. We're
doing a lot of good stuff on Twitter.
We're linking to Shegal Nation, and we got some in the mix around there.
Yeah, at Diamond Diehards on Twitter, and basically at Diamond Diehards everywhere. YouTube, this will be up on, you might be watching this on YouTube, then you'll know. And we're live streaming, of course, at the home of homes, our Facebook group. But check DiamondDiehards.com. We want you to get in the habit of being over there, and hit that subscribe button and the shares. We need the shares. LinkedIn as well. We're
greedy. Don't keep us all to yourself.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, step up. Especially when Dawg's paying so much for that background. Diamond Dawg, a lot of video of the Diamond Dawg online where you can.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you want the dog to do.
Okay. Next, quick hit 2. Right. Let's move the runner over. Taijuan Walker signs with the Mets. What was it, Dawg? 2 years, $10 million, right?
2 years, $10 million, and he's got the $3 million option, I think, for $3 million player option. They got some stuff worked around, and like stuff I think you can earn into for a third year.
Okay. Pretty decent arm. Hasn't pitched much due to injuries over the last couple of years. Yeah. But this sort of like, this is us patting ourselves on the back. Dawg talking about, when it was the beginning of it being cold out. It might have still been warm out, actually, in the Northeast, when Dawg was talking about the Mets having possibly the idea of a 6-man rotation, especially when you're trying to bring back a guy like Syndergaard in there. This would go right into that, probably, like, in the idea of the 6-man rotation. And maybe, Dawg, what you and I love is the 2 to 3 inning relievers. And if a guy just pitched and he started, you could bring him back maybe somewhere in the middle, have him give you a few innings here and there, and it's a little more work, right? It's a little more work for the staff to figure out who's ready when and how many innings they could give you on a certain night. That's usually what people are doing.
I mean, Dawg going nuts. Sorry.
It's usually what people are doing in the playoffs, right?
For
like,
that. Yeah.
Like all hands on deck. But I feel like it should be done more in the regular season. Why not? I mean, some of these teams are going to have to do that, and these margins could be very, very small. I mean, especially in the National League East, you got 5 teams that are legit playoff contenders there.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, looking at the Mets, right? I mean, if you go DeGrom, Carrasco, Stroman, and of course I'm totally blanking out here in a row. They basically are looking like Peterson. 4 to 5 righties. Peterson. Thank you. Peterson there in the mix too. You have all those guys in a row. Like Lucchesi now. So he was probably, before Walker coming in, he was sort of my guess for being the 5th starter, kind of replacing Matz last year. Maybe like you set up, maybe he becomes like the lefty who comes in, a lot of the time. And maybe him and Peterson kind of wind up being that 2 to 3 inning reliever guy. As your starters go out and give you 5, those guys help you bridge to to the strong back end of the pen that you have with the Mets. So, it kind of gives you depth that way. I think, COVID shouldn't be an issue, in my opinion, by the time the season hits and whatnot. But just the innings themselves, that, everyone, the most guys through last year were 70 innings. So basically, like, it's almost like everyone's come back from an injury, right? I mean, it's weird. It's just, once again, another weird season, right? So how much can you ask? Even like a DeGrom, like, can you really pencil in 200 for DeGrom? I mean, normally you could, no problem. I don't know this year, right? So that's why kind of having like that 7th and 8th guy, and you may need to skip guys, or you need to cut down their innings. I mean, I think the cut down innings makes a lot of sense for the Mets, and that's why I sort of lean towards just a straight 6-man for them, and kind of integrate DeGrom into it. if you want to do DeGrom out of the pen as like a super pen guy with Lugo and maybe Lucchesi, kind of being the bridge to the back end. That's where maybe you go with more the the shorter stints more frequently. And it's really going to depend on how guys' arms rebound, right? I mean, are they better off going a couple innings every other day, or doing the 5 or 6 and taking a longer break?
You could have guys who
no.
guys who actually have more tread on the tire now as a result of not throwing so much for the last year, right?
Yep.
So we're maybe focusing a little more on their workouts and their conditioning, and like a guy like Trevor Bauer, that was one of the big things that he's taught. He wants to be in a situation where he's pitching on 3 days rest. I mean, he doesn't have to do that with the Dodgers, but he wants to, and he says that he's got the stamina and he's in the physical shape to do it, and he would want to do that. I don't know if teams are all of a sudden going to go back to that, but sure. I mean, if you were pitching guys less innings per start, you probably could go back to that. Like, why not? And just that's another way to get more innings out of your best pitchers in games that you're winning. That's what I like to look at. In a game that I have the lead, how can I get my best pitchers throwing more pitches in this game and more innings in this game? All right. Speaking of guys who were not injured, but always seeming to be plugged in when everybody else got injured, it's the somewhat ageless Yankee Brett Gardner. Dawg apparently back in talks to rejoin the Yankees. And I always get this question from every time I'm doing a Diamond Diehards. The Mescolo crew is always asking me, well, what about Brett Gardner? Is he going to be back? Is he going to be back? I'm like, I love Brett Gardner, and you guys love Brett Gardner. Apparently the rest of Yankee Nation despises him and doesn't want him back. But he just, everybody always gets hurt, and Brett Gardner has to get plugged in there, and he does what he does. He doesn't kill you. He doesn't, win you the World Series, except when he did in 2009. He's the only remaining Yankee from there. But I've always contended that he's going to be back. He just is the fifth outfielder, and between Stanton getting hurt and Frazier getting hurt and Judge getting hurt and Hicks getting hurt, there's just always a spot. Like Gardner ends up playing way more than you even think he's going to play.
Yep. And his versatility is key, right? And then once again, I think that the best teams, again, the big money teams, I think this is an advantage for them as well, right? You have that depth. And we talked about in the pitching, similar situation. I don't think it's gonna be quite as extreme because pitchers' arms, are so much more fickle these days than you have with position players. But guys are gonna go down. And you're going to need guys. So a guy can go out and play, legitimately play all three outfield positions is a valuable guy to have around. I mean, decent base runner, and obviously a veteran leader on the team. A couple of million, that's a pretty small price to pay for what I think you get from him. So.
I guess, Dawg, the only downside that you can really
is he blocking anybody, right? That's always the last thing, right?
Yeah. Is he blocking anybody? And is his space on the 40-man roster going to prevent you from having somebody else in there that you kind of want in there? Because you got to make room for him, right? Like, and you're looking at some of these guys from these good teams, like the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Mets. I mean, they're bringing guys on, and you're looking at the guys on the 40-man roster that they have to get rid of to make room for, and you're like, oh, that guy's pretty good. Like,
yes.
Like, couldn't we have traded him to the Pirates for Todd Frazier?
Like Brad Brock. I mean, Brad Brock, I kind of wish he was on the Mets 40-man, at least, maybe even in the pen. And they just ran out of room on it. Other interesting one they're saying, like in terms of options, right, is being able to bring guys up and down, right, and having guys with options that are going down to the minors, which is always nice and valuable. But again, this time it's really valuable, right? I mean, you may need to go through your pen hard if guys get injured or just run out of gas during the season, and you're going to need to have those guys around. You kind of had a little bit of that functionality last year with the alternate site, but now it's going to be kind of back to more normal time, and you need to have that sort of depth. So like the guy who's pretty good, but sort of bottom of the 25 man without options, he's simply not as valuable as a couple, quadruple A guys that have 2 or 3 options each that you can take up, spot start, and then throw back down the minors.
We did it, Dawg. We did it.
No big
Ken
deal.
Davidoff. Brett Gardner returns to the Yankees once he passes his physical.
Done.
We did it.
Broke it again.
We don't break news, we fix it. That's what we do with Time of Diehards.
I like that.
It happened.
Would have fixed it.
We weren't even trying for that, and we finally got it. We're live. The last time we reacted live to something, I think the Dodgers were like actually winning the World Series. So go back and listen to that because that was pretty good. That was pretty stellar.
We're like Mr. Wolf. Like you have a problem, you call Jeff, you call Riz and the Dog, and we fix it.
We're like Randy Wolf. Didn't he just beat you in the Stratomatic Elite Media?
It's a lot of anger. A lot of anger right now in the Dog.
Why don't we close with that? The Stratomatic Elite Media Experts League. Go check us out on Twitter. Check at Stratomatic.
All six, me versus Sweeney, battling it out for that wild card spot behind our red hot Red Sox.
And Riz's, he was talking about himself in the third person. The St. Louis Cardinals clinched the Central.
Yeah. Oh, baby. The AAA affiliate of the Stratomatic Media Elite League.
And now we are dropping bombs on the rest of the league here. We've made some late pickup. We've thrown the scruples out the window, and
we're using the rules as written.
They are. I was ignoring the rules as written. Then I was like, okay, the Red Sox, Joe Lemayere's Red Sox just win every single game. And if we're gonna be there in the end and try to take him down, we got to definitely like throw a little bit of the scruples out the window. So all of a sudden, right at the end of the season, welcomed into the Cardinals clubhouse where John
long
Smoltz,
time Cardinal
John Smoltz, Troy Glaus,
all 7 games.
Troy Glaus and Troy Percival. Welcome to the 2000 to 2009 Cardinals. Oh, and let's see. John Heyman says Gardner $4 million guarantee with the Yankees, 1 year plus an option. So that's it's about what you
not bad.
That's about what you would have figured. That's a good, team friendly, player friendly. It sounds good.
Yeah.
Again, he's not going to
maybe a little much, but
they have so few left-handed bats on that team and basically none like in the regular lineup. So if somebody goes down, it's not if, it's when somebody goes down with an injury, that's the kind of guy that is, it makes sense to plug him in because even if you're facing lefties, he could hang in there and, he doesn't have to bat high in the lineup at this point. At this point, he could bat, 8, 9, whatever. It doesn't matter. You don't have to bat him lead off. We don't even have to play with that situation anymore. And imagine Guardy's a leadoff hitter. Heyman says Gardner could make close to $11 million over 2 years if the Yanks pick up the second year option. So I guess he has Mark Feinsand, my old colleague from back in the Sports Ticker days, says, let's see. Hold on a sec. Deal includes player and team options for 2022.
We can't talk about this live.
Oh yeah. Folks, we can't do play.
Right now, Brett Gardner is taking out his pen.
Okay. Joe Schoenman says Gardner's contract is like Darren O'Day's deal with the Yankees, 1 year contract with a second-year player option, and if the player rejects, there is a team option. Buyouts on both. Guarantee is $4 million. Okay, so that's how he.
Darren O'Day, by the way, great signing, I think, for the Yankees.
I thought so too.
Great.
I tweeted something about it. He's strangely like the 7th ranked relief pitcher in baseball, like for a career right now, based on some strange metric that's on Baseball Reference. It's totally cool. Like you'd never think. It's like all awesome guys and like Darren O'Day, like stuck right there, shoving it up. And I think he gets Lawrence Taylor's number 56. Okay, wrong sport. That'll do it, Dog. I think did we cover it? Xavier,
I think so.
Producing did say that we did eclipse the 15-minute mark, but that was not long ago. So I think we did pretty good if we wrap it up there. FMSgraphics.com, check them out. Printing and promotional needs. DiamondDiehards.com. Go there, check us out, get your listens in. We need those subscribers. We need the shares. We need the follows on social media. We're having a really fun time doing it, and we're growing this thing. And if you'd like to contact us about sponsorships, the way FMSgraphics.com is done, LinkedIn, definitely the place to go, or just hit us anywhere you want on social media. Hey, Steve Klein, the former Cardinal reliever, just followed us yesterday.
There you go.
which is Thursday.
Mike Cameron.
And that's because
Mike Cameron, who I would have put on my strat team, but he was snagged by somebody else.
Well, he followed you. You couldn't get him to follow Diamond Diehards, though. I don't think.
We'll work on that. We'll work on it.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So we better end this
follow.
episode. We better end this episode so we could start working on that. All right. There's your weekend primer for February 19th, 2021. Todd Frazier, Taijuan Walker, Brett Gardner. We weren't expecting what we got, but I think we hit a home run on one of our quick hits. So that'll do it for the Dawg, Jeff Healy. This is Joe Rizzo. Diamond Diehards is out.